From the beautiful city of Los Angeles, California, we bring you the Gimme Three podcast. Hello and welcome, cinephiles, cinema lovers, and movie appreciators to the Gimme Three podcast. It's your go-to movie podcast where we pick three films connected by one theme. I'm Nicholas Ibarra, and today is the grand return. The prodigal daughter returns. Bella Stratus is back from her road trip. Bella, how you doing? How was your trip up the coast, the Pacific coast?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's so nice to be back. The trip was amazing. Oh my God, it's so beautiful up there. Yeah, we started in San Francisco, made our way up to Mount Hood in Oregon, and then we ended in Port Angeles in Washington, which was probably my favorite, honestly. Olympic National Park it's a must-see. I decided that moss is my favorite thing in nature.
You like moss, huh?
I really love moss.
Huh.
I couldn't get over it. It's just like, it looks so soft.
Yeah.
And like, fairies probably live in there. And yeah, it's just magical.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I've never really stopped to smell the moss or appreciate the moss in my time, but it is nice looking. Yeah.
Yeah, get on up to Port Angeles, check it out, and then of course waterfalls. That was Jonathan's favorite.
Yeah, waterfalls are a trip.
Yeah, pretty majestic.
So Port Angeles is the favorite, huh?
Yes, I would say so. It was pretty spectacular. So highly recommend. But we're back, and I have to say I was so jealous of last week talking about dance 80s movies. But now with today's theme, it's a little bit less sad. I still get a taste of it.
Yeah, you still get some 80s dance classics. Last week we talked with Hannelore Berlin, some epic dance films, 80 dance classics, but not straying too far away from that theme today. In fact, talking about one of the greatest dancers of all time in this episode. Yeah. This week marks the release of Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic. We figure this is as good a time as any to explore some of MJ's most groundbreaking, history-making, industry-shattering short films. And if you know MJ, if you know Mike, you know that they were not music videos to him. They were short films. Mm. And Bella, I mean, I don't really Michael Jackson is kind of like, now he's a polarizing figure. But
right.
In the 80s, before your time, 80s and 90s, but really in the 80s, it's kind of difficult to describe just how big he was, especially in the 80s, which is our focus again today. He was the biggest, most unifying, game-changing artist ever, probably. I mean, yeah. Men and women loved him. All races loved him. He was global phenomenon. He was, for a short period of time, the most significant pop artist or musician ever, really. Bigger than Elvis. I think the only one you could say maybe who was as big as him would be the Beatles. You can make that argument, perhaps, but I'm still going to give the nod to MJ because I don't think people in the hood were were getting down with the Beatles like they were getting down to MJ.
Right.
MJ he was everywhere. He broke all the barriers. So today we're exploring that height of Michael Jackson, his popularity, his music, specifically his work in these short films, which took the medium of the music video and elevated it to a respectable and inventive art form. Because prior to the Thriller album, prior to Billie Jean and Beat It and Thriller we are talking about today, we're not talking about the other two today, but prior to those videos, like, the art form was not great.
It was something else, that's for sure.
It was mostly performance. It was mostly just like the band or the group
Yeah.
performing or standing in front of a white cyc, or, like, there's some fun things, to look at in some of the very early music videos, but nothing like what we're going to talk about today. And
Mm-hmm.
he really shifted everything. And last year, Bella, like you, Sonja, and I, we each picked 3 favorite music videos to talk about for an episode. And I said, no, MJ, we can't pick any MJ because that's got to be its own episode. And
Mm-hmm.
I think now you could see why I made that distinction.
Oh, yeah, we couldn't put those all in the same group.
I mean, even picking 3 of these was like difficult for me because originally we were going to do 3 from the 80s, 3 from the 90s. But then as I started like making my notes for the 80s, I was like, I think if we do that, we're going to be here for 3 hours just because I have so much to say about these ones from the 80s. So we'll just stick with those. So, but I mean, these are probably his 3 most ambitious and
Totally.
and famous. So,
And very
we picked
much
3 good
like,
ones.
yes, we did. And very much like storytelling.
Yes. Right. They are.
I mean, most
films,
are, but yeah.
So, yeah, any broad thoughts before we dive in?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to talk about these. One of them has a very, very, very special place in my heart, and it was fun to go on the journey of Michael Jackson music video marathons, which Jonathan and I actually did last year. We spent like a whole day just like on YouTube watching them because we couldn't stop.
It's really hard to stop once you start. You're just like, oh, I like that song. Oh, look at that. Let's see what he did with that song.
Yeah. And then the visuals are so extravagant, so big. As always, that's the trademark. But yeah, so as we said, like these 3 are kind of cultural cornerstones, but there are so many others to dive into as well.
Yeah, it's hard not to talk about, some of the ones from the 90s, like Black or White, which was like, really broke a lot of ground from like special effects and visual effects standpoint. I really love the video Leave Me Alone, which incorporates a lot of like really cool, like stop motion frame animation and stuff like that. And also like kind of attacks the media for attacking him. And there's just so many to choose from. And you know what we got to talk about, Bella, the grandest of them all, the one that really changed the game forever.
Yes, we're starting off with the film that actually introduced me to Michael Jackson.
Oh.
So here we go. Michael Jackson's Thriller was the first scary movie I ever watched. Mm-hmm. I remember my dad gathered me and my brother around the family computer to watch it on YouTube, the good old days. And we just stood there paralyzed, too scared to move, too scared to breathe. And then those zombies started dancing. And the craziest mix of emotions sort of set in for me because I was still terrified throughout the entire thing, but I was also found myself smiling and even laughing and just feeling the joy and the excitement of the music and the choreography. I felt the feeling that probably everyone has when they watch Michael Jackson perform for the first time, just mesmerized. Yeah, this song in the video, huge part of my childhood and life, honestly. It's got to be an all-time favorite on all fronts, for sure. But we can get into more of that later because I'm obviously not the only one with those sentiments towards it. This was the definition of a cultural phenomenon. It was shown on the big screen for the first time in 1983 to a private audience with some of the biggest names in entertainment at the Crest Theater, which is now known as the Nimoy Theater in Los Angeles. Michael Jackson enjoyed the standing ovation from the projection booth, and the film was immediately played again after Eddie Murphy from the crowd insisted on an encore. The video then debuted.
Play that shit again!
Exactly. The video then debuted on MTV, and after each broadcast, viewership surged to nearly 10 times the usual audience. This led to the album itself selling 1 million copies each week, doubling its sales and becoming the best-selling album of all time with an estimated 70 million copies sold worldwide. Crazy.
Yep.
So John Landis directed this joint. You may recognize his name from Trading Places, which we actually talked about in last year's Christmas or Not episode. He also directed Coming to America, The Blues Brothers, and An American Werewolf in London, which was the film that inspired Michael Jackson to hire him to direct Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
The film opens on Michael Jackson and Ola Ray as 1950s high school sweethearts stuck on the side of the road at night when their car runs out of gas. It's a little bit eerie, but there's also some romance in the air as Michael asks Ola to be his girl. Now that they've sealed the deal, there's one more thing she should probably know about him. But before he can get it out, the full moon rises and his truth is revealed as Michael brutally transforms into a horrifying werecat. I have to pause here because even though I've seen this video thousands of times, I actually never really noticed the super cat-like features of the mask. I guess I was just really locked into the werewolf trope.
Yeah, I mean, even as you say it, I have not thought about that at all. I've always thought werewolf, but there is some cat-like. Maybe it's the way he's holding his paws too. He's meow, at the screen.
And then the distinct whiskers is a little more feline. So I thought that was kind of hilarious looking back. It just never crossed my mind. But if you look back and you watch it right now, you'll be like, oh wow, yeah, that's a werecat. So werecat Jackson is terrorizing poor little Ola, chasing her through a dark forest. And just as he's about to devour her, the camera cuts to present day 80s Michael and Ola on a date in a movie theater, watching the scene unfold with a terrified crowd. Michael's having a blast. Ola, on the other hand, not so much. She's out of there.
No, so, I'm enjoying this.
Just shoving popcorn down. So Michael finds her outside the theater and teases her for being so scared. It's just a movie. The song then starts with them walking down a dark, foggy street as Michael dances around Ola and teases of the creatures lurking in the dark. They skip right past a ghostly graveyard where the undead awaken and crawl out of their graves to follow the couple, accompanied by the great Vincent Price spooky poetic monologue. The couple find themselves circled, and the nightmare ensues as the camera reveals that Michael himself has been zombified. Zombie Michael and the undead jump into the most iconic dance break to ever exist. Unforgettable, extraordinary choreography. Ola flees to an abandoned house, but the zombies follow, kicking down the door and crawling in through the windows and the floor. Just as Zombie Jackson grabs her, the scene cuts to normal Michael Jackson in a warm living room, shaking Ola out of her terrified funk. He takes her away, but just before leaving, turns to the camera to reveal his big, yellow werecat eyes.
The eyes are cat-like for sure.
Right? They've got I don't know exactly what to call it. Like the marble cat eyes.
The black cat yellowy eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe you're onto something there.
There you have it. The freeze frame, cue Vincent Price iconic laugh, and there you have it. That's the greatest music video ever made. So yeah. Nick, I'm dying to hear your thoughts on Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the greatest music video ever made. It's no contest. It's the most influential music video of all time. That's for goddamn sure.
Oh, yeah.
Completely changed the game. As you mentioned, Thriller, of course, would become the highest selling album of all time. This was I think the 6th or 7th single that was released on the album.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a track that the record label was kind of well, that's kind of like a silly song. I don't think we're going to release that as a single, accompanied with the video. It's a perfectly great song.
Yeah,
totally works. So yeah, I mean, the success of this album, the success of this song, and then the success of this film, really all three of them combined, but really it was when this film came out. It when I say it changed the game, I don't mean just oh yeah, music videos were now a thing. I mean, it changed the music industry, because what it did was it forced the hand of radio stations and MTV, the popularity of this video, this short film, radio stations and MTV had to say, "Oh shit, I guess we have to just like embrace black artists now. This is just too big to ignore." Because for the most part, prior to this, it was all segregated. Pop stations played mostly white artists.
Wow.
R&B stations played black artists, and MTV played mostly white artists. Or, you know, like if they were playing black artists, they'd play here's a half hour of black artists. You know, so this album, and in particular this video, changed all of that forever. Obviously, so
Yeah.
when people talk about Michael Jackson and like the groundbreaking work he did, it's like, no, he literally broke barriers.
Yeah.
I grew up loving Michael, was blown away by his talent, loved his music. He was my guy. This video, I could, like you said, I could not watch it as a kid. It scared the shit out of me, man. It was frightening.
It's so scary.
and they just like run this shit randomly on MTV. Like you'd be watching Real World, and then they'd, for no reason, they'd be like, "Here's Thriller." I'd be like, "God damn!" I'd have to run out of the room and shit, you know.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, it gets you, you know.
It does,
it's, especially all the twists and turns. Like as a kid, it doesn't even get you. It doesn't even give you time to like catch your breath.
Yeah, like there's one that even like got me to jump the other day when I was watching it. Still, is like he starts to transform and he like hunches over, and then she like comes up to him a little bit and he goes, "Get away!" It's like, God damn.
Yes, it's terrifying.
Amazing stuff. Obviously, as an adult, I was able to appreciate it more, but as a little kid, I was like, fuck that.
You watched it without covering your eyes for the first time.
But there's so many amazing, groundbreaking techniques that Mike established with this short film that he would carry throughout his career. And it really highlights how he perceived these as films and not as music videos. One of the things is the inclusion of sound mixing and sound design to the music sequence. Like what makes the dance sequence of Thriller so unforgettable. Obviously, the choreography is tremendous. Obviously, seeing, you know, zombies and ghouls dance these wild dance moves is like, you know, just so exhilarating and fun. And MJ is so charismatic. But you are hearing the footsteps of the dancers and you're hearing their feet slide across the concrete and cha, 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 cha. Cha-cha-cha, you know, dance. And God damn, it just sounds so cool. And in conjunction with the music, it's a technique he would use for, you know, so many of his music videos and short films throughout. But he when he embraces the soundscapes of the environment, it just makes them feel more like you're watching a film and not like you're watching a music video. Because if you're watching, you know, a film, a musical sequence, you're going to hear those footsteps. You're going to hear that kind of stuff. And in most music videos, they just do the music playback and all you hear is the song. You don't hear the sound design of what's going on in the environment. So, yeah, it's a technique he'd carry throughout his career.
Genius.
Yeah, it is genius. The other thing that he would do that really honed in on the fact that these were films and not music videos was that he would cater the song to the film. The film would come first, you know? So if that meant adjusting the song, so be it. For example, in the song Thriller, like if you listen to the album, if you listen to it on the radio, it goes verse, chorus, bridge. In the film Thriller, it goes verse, you know, as Michael's like singing to Ola Ray as they're walking down the street. He gives the first verse and then they skip the chorus and he goes right into the second verse. And then there's the bridge as the ghouls and zombies are waking up and they're walking around and coming out of the graves. We don't get the chorus until much, much later, you know? So the song is changed, catered, morphed to fit what is best for the film. And he would do this for, again, a lot of his a lot of his films and music videos, because he'd be like, okay, well, we want to add a dance sequence here. It's like, well, that's not in the song. It's like, well, let's fucking change that. Because this is what's going to work for the film. Yeah, I mean, it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer.
It really is. And like, it never gets old, too.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, the song itself, but even the video, you know, like sometimes there's 80s classics that maybe don't age as well. And this one is just like when you think of something that's timeless, this is what you would watch. This is what you would present.
And it's for me, it is the video, because like, again, I am a bigger MJ fan than most. And I get, picked on about it, whatever. Fuck 'em. But Thriller, the song, it's kind of one I skip. I'm not like the biggest fan of Thriller as a track. But with the video, it's just like, fuck, I could watch. If you put it on, you can't not watch. You can't look away. It just goes to show how impactful this piece of work is.
I have to say I'm equally a fan of both the song and the video, just because obviously I always talk about how Halloween is my favorite time of year, October. And this is like the song that marks the beginning of that. Like, this is the first song I listened to in the morning on October 1st. I'm like, let's fucking go. It is my time.
It has become the unofficial but kind of official anthem for Halloween.
For sure. I mean, and you can't not love it.
Yeah.
And then growing up too, there's a dance company, a professional dance company in Salt Lake City called Odyssey Dance Company that does this annual Halloween show called Thriller. And it was like the thing that made me love horror, I think. And it was so fun to have it attached to Thriller, like the actual song and music video. And they would open the show with, essentially like a dance, their own version of the music video. This show, actually, I saw it when I was really little, and I was so scared that I actually fell asleep with the lights on and my eyes open that night. My dad walked into my room, and I think I scared him more than I was even scared, because he was like, your eyes were open, but you were not awake. I can't even imagine what that would look like. A freaky doll in his kid's bedroom. But yeah, no, it's just so funny to think about. Like, now I love horror, but it all comes back to, I feel like, this in a way being an introduction to horror for me, and like the fun that horror can be. Because as I mentioned in my intro, like, I was terrified all the way through the music video, but I also had moments where I wanted to laugh or, join in on the fun of the dancing. And that mixture of emotions at a young age, or feelings, was so bizarre, but kind of intoxicating.
Right. That thrill, that
adrenaline
rush that you get from watching horror, where it's like you're scared, and then they pop you with a joke, or it's why people love horror. It gets your heart racing.
And I was reading how Michael Jackson wanted to make sure it was kind of kid-friendly horror as well, fantastical. That's what also makes it available to everyone, even though it is kind of a little too scary as a kid. Still.
Well, he had to put that thing in the beginning about him not being a fan of the occult, because this was also around the same time when they satanic panic was happening in the 80s, where everybody was like, oh God, it's devil shit, that Reagan fucking shit.
Right. I guess one last final thought would be just coming back to the werecat. I'm really curious what our listeners, if that was something you guys immediately caught on to, let me know. If not, I'll feel better about myself.
Thriller, check it out. It's on YouTube. Well, we can actually link all of the films that we're discussing today in our episode description. So just scroll down to our episode description, click the link, and you can watch Thriller along with us. All right, so we're going to jump ahead in time now, and we're going to go to 1987. It's a different album, and it's a different face, and it's a different Michael. So it's bad. And it's directed by Martin Scorsese. It's written by Richard Price. Cinematography, Michael Chapman. So, I mean, you got the goddamn all-star team of filmmakers here.
Oh, yeah.
And in the film, you got Michael. He's playing this teenager named Daryl, who has just completed a semester at his expensive boarding school. And we follow him and the rest of his classmates as they're like taking the bus back home. And as they're going deeper and deeper into the neighborhood, and as all of his classmates start leaving the bus, and it just ends up being him and this one other Mexican American looking student, because these guys are from the hood. They're not from the other side of the tracks like the rest of their preppy boarding school friends. So we get to Daryl's neighborhood, which I think they shot in Harlem, and we're introduced to his friends, his old gang friends, led by a guy named Mini Max, played by the then unknown Wesley Snipes. And they're hanging out and they're catching up, and they start to notice a little thing about Daryl. Maybe Daryl's a little different. Maybe that prep school changed him. And nightfall comes and they go out and they threaten to attack a drug dealer, but they're dissuaded when the drug dealer flashes a gun. They try and get Daryl to break into some homes and steal some shit, but he doesn't want to. And Mini Max is like, "You ain't bad no more." And he says, "Come on, I'll show you who's bad. Let's go out again." And they go out to this subway station in Brooklyn. And just as they're about to attack and rob this old man, again, Daryl has a change of heart. And he tells the old man to run away, get away. And they're like, "See, you ain't bad." And then Michael snaps his fingers. And now he's dressed in some leather punk-inspired outfit with chains and stuff, and he's surrounded by b-boys, and they show the gang, you can be bad with dance.
Hell yeah.
So you get an incredible musical sequence of the song Bad, the title track of Michael's new album, some brilliant choreography that combines b-boy breaking, classical ballet inspired by West Side Story, and these edgy, hard, crisp movements that would become synonymous with MJ's style, and a lot of crotch grabbing. The video premiered on August 31st, 1987 on primetime network television. Going from a premiere MTV at midnight with Thriller to primetime network television, a CBS special created specifically for this called Michael Jackson, The Magic Returns, which included this 18-minute short film and some other footage and mini documentary stuff. Everybody in the country and their mother watched it, and music critics praised the song, praised the production. Everybody was like, "Holy shit, this dancing's incredible." And then a heck of a lot of people were like, "Yo, what the fuck did Michael do to his face?"
Yeah. Pretty dramatic difference.
Yes. I will get into some of the details about how and why this video was made. But Bella, what were your initial thoughts on Bad? Are you bad, Bella?
Nah, I don't think so. I'm pretty good. I want to be bad, though, after that dance routine. Oh, my God. That was amazing. Yeah, I loved this. I loved...
Had you seen this before?
I don't know that I'd seen this. Like, obviously, I'd seen the short, just the music video, but I hadn't seen the full 18-minute short film. And I definitely didn't know that it was directed by Martin Scorsese. So that was really exciting, let alone all the other incredible people who worked on this. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I loved the narrative of it, aspect of it. It's, similar to Thriller, but almost a little bit more
Mhm.
storytelling in a way.
Yeah.
Setting the stage. It really does open. It really is a short film, And I guess in a way I wasn't expecting that, which is silly because that's the name of our episode title. But but yeah, no, I loved it. I live for the costumes. So I was really excited with the dramatic shift into from Daryl to Michael Jackson, essentially. I
Yeah.
thought it was interesting to see him play a character for so much of it, because I feel like in every other music video, it's even, like we talked about in Thriller, every one of his characters is named Michael. It's him. So that was definitely like a new aspect, or a new side of this person who in real life is such an enigma still.
Right.
And then seeing Wesley Snipes, like learning that this was before people really knew who he was insane to think about as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and he nails it. He really
He's
grounds the
so
whole
good.
piece. Yeah, he's really great now. The idea of doing this video, I mean, there wasn't a full concept. Scorsese and Richard Price kind of came up with the concept, but the idea, or what they wanted to do with this video, was Michael wanted to make a video that was going to make him look hard, basically, because he had this new look, and this new look made him look, more feminine and wider, obviously. So he wanted to make a video that said, "Hey guys, I'm still tough," There's a few issues with that. Michael Jackson is not tough.
Yeah.
And a few things. His voice, obviously, that high falsetto speaking voice that he has that almost sounds like a child. Not the voice I would associate with bad. But here's the weird thing, Bella, and many don't know this. That is not Michael's real voice. Which once you think about it, it's like, of course it's not his real voice. Like, who the fuck would have a voice like that? According to many people who know him and who were close to him, his real voice was a black man's voice, like a bassy, normal male voice. But he just rarely used it when speaking, and definitely didn't use it when speaking in public. You hear it come out sometimes in the music. And when you do, you're just like, God damn, he's got a fucking growl to him. But he liked this falsetto high voice because he wanted to appear more innocent and more soft and welcoming, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, man, for this music video bad, you should have just used your real voice. It would have made a world of difference.
No, I'm like kind of shocked, like listening to you describe that he made this to, seem tough or bad, obviously.
Right.
It's just funny to think about. As I was watching it with Jonathan, I was like, wow, I mean, it's amazing to like think of him as, I was watching it with Jonathan and I was like, I'm just so surprised to see such a femininity to this person. And I especially see it in this video. Jonathan was like, well, you're forgetting that Michael Jackson was like the ultimate sex symbol as well, among everyone.
The sex symbol of the
And I'm just like, wow, there's something really fascinating about that, because of like male gender norms and whatnot, really defies them in that way.
Well, in the 80s, there was also this kind of like gender blending, men dressing up kind of in a more feminine way. You had
David Bowie,
Boy George Michael. There was all this kind of femininity to these artists that was appealing to women at this time. Like those were all sex symbols, including Michael. But then as we get later in the 80s, there's kind of this push away from that and this rejection of it. And it started going into like a more like harder, be a tough man guy. So you're seeing Michael in kind of like this like blending of two worlds with this music video.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's like the transition in a way, I guess.
The other thing Michael wanted to do that was a bad idea, he's like, we want to make this real tough, I want to get George Lucas or Steven Spielberg to direct this. And it's like, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg,
they wouldn't know what to do with this.
They're not hard. They're not from the thankfully, Frank DeLeo, Mike's manager, was like, nah, let's not do that. Why don't we bring on Martin Scorsese, who, of course, was the correct choice for this.
Yeah.
That look, the famous look that Michael has on in this video, and of course would be the look for the album cover. They shot that album cover while they were making this video, and it would be kind of like the look for this album. It's the bad era is this look. That is kind of happened as MJ was driving down Melrose in Los Angeles, and he strolled upon the very famous punk store, Posier, very famous, influential punk store. And with the help of the owner, he kind of like impromptu created this look for the video in that store. The owner was like, hey, maybe try this, maybe this. And they kind of just like came up with that for the most part in that store. And so he walked into Posier and came out a poser.
Wow.
That's where the famous look.
It sure is a look. I mean, I would have called it in this video, buckles on buckles on buckles on buckles. He liked
buckles. One thing, so in the, they have the full 18-minute version up on Michael's YouTube page. But one thing that kind of upset me was, I believe, maybe I just missed it. You correct me if I'm wrong. They took out the best line of the film. Michael snaps his fingers and bang, all these dancers come out. B-boys to the left, B-boys to the right. And Wesley Snipes says, what are you going to do? Dance us to death? And I always thought that was like the funniest fucking line ever. They took it out.
I think you're right. Yeah.
They took that out. MJ.
How dare they?
I know. This is a great line.
It's so good.
Dance us to death.
There's some fantastic line delivery. It's so fun too also to see, Michael really flexing his acting chops here.
Yeah.
And that, especially in the intro, I should say, like his delivery when he's getting fed up with Minimax,
yeah,
with Minimax, and he's like, "You want to see bad? I'll show you bad. Come on." The like really hard staccato "come on" makes me laugh every single time. It's just it's so him, It's where he's playing a character, but then MJ shines through and you're like, I see you. I see you. Oh, I love it.
I got 3 pieces of trivia for this here short film. Bad.
Nice.
I want to play a game.
All right, so when they were producing the album, this song was originally intended, Quincy Jones intended for this song to be a duet between Michael Jackson and Prince. And Prince, of course, then would have played Wesley Snipes' character in the video. I don't know how that would have made it any more bad, but
I was going to say there wouldn't be like too much of a distinction between the two vibes.
Right. But, like for anybody who is MJ or Prince fan, they know there's a somewhat of a simmering rivalry between these two artists who was better. So it ultimately didn't happen because Prince said, the opening line of the song is "Your butt is mine." He's not singing that line to me, and I'm not singing that line to him. So it's just not going to work. Like who gets that line?
That's what made the standstill.
Well, it's like when you have a rivalry, who's going to say your butt is mine? It's like, all right, that's the dominant one, and Prince just wouldn't stand for it. It's fun to hypothesize what the song would have sounded like. The song would have fucking probably been badass. From the film standpoint, I think Wesley Snipes probably a stronger choice than Prince.
Yes, I think so. And now we get more Wesley Snipes.
Having now, with hindsight being 2020, you know,
Mm-hmm.
having seen Under the Cherry Moon, we can safely say that Wesley Snipes is a better actor than Prince.
Yeah.
Okay, the writer, Richard Price, he was inspired, the story of Edmund Perry. The story of Edmund Perry inspired his script for Bad. And Edmund Perry was an honor student at a prestigious school who was shot to death while allegedly trying to mug a plainclothes police officer, and then that police officer shot.
Wow.
And Richard Price was caught a bullet and passed away. The story was a big media sensation in New York in 1985. And that is where Richard Price got the idea for this story. A student who is at a prestigious school who, you know, is still kind of like balancing his life in between two worlds.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And then third and final piece of trivia, of course, we got the great moment where we see a wanted sign pasted up on the wall with Martin Scorsese's picture on it. And it says, "Wanted for sacrilege." And that is, of course, because as he was making this, word was getting out that Martin Scorsese was making The Last Temptation of Christ. And he was also on the receiving end of some backlash for his not so angelic Christ-like film.
Wow. Fantastic trivia.
3 pieces of trivia for you for Bad. Also, one more shout out, the voice of the mother when Daryl gets home, nobody's at home, and he has a note from his mother saying like, "Hey, I'm gone to work. Here's this." The voice is Roberta Flack.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was watching the credits and I saw her name and I didn't know who she was or who she was in the film. I thought maybe like she was on the train or something, but oh my God, that makes so much sense. I'm also pretty sure Martin Scorsese's mom is one of the women on that train scene.
100% she is. That is.
Okay. I was like, I swear I saw her. I think I saw Mama Scorsese.
Yep.
So
she
awesome.
is there. Yeah, it is a wonderful film. You know, this is a shift in Mike's career. And with this Bad album, this was probably the album where he was the most ambitious with his films. He made a lot of them for this album, and he went hard on all of them except for one, which I can talk about after the break. That's called audience retention, everybody. But check out Bad. We'll put the link in the episode description here. And during the break, you're going to hear from LADFF director, Gimme Three producer, and my wife, Sonja Mereu, for a segment that we call Sonja's Movie Minute. So stick around for that and much more right here on the Gimme Three podcast.
Hello, I'm Sonja, and this is my Movie Minute. Through my job, I had the privilege of working on some of the marketing for the film Michael, and I got to attend the LA premiere. The more footage I saw while we were editing our ads, the more I wanted to see the movie. It was clear that the music was going to be wall-to-wall, or off the wall, as it were. Sorry, bad pun. It was also obvious that Jafar Jackson was the perfect person to embody his talented, enigmatic, and iconic uncle. Now that I've seen the movie, I can attest that both of these things are true. The music is nonstop and, of course, excellent. Jafar is incredibly impressive and meticulous. Somehow he even pulls off Michael's evolving appearance without it looking weird or fake. Special thanks to the makeup and VFX teams, of course. What I didn't get from the trailers is how incredible Giuliano Valdi was going to be as the younger version of Michael. I think the whole audience fell in love with this child the way the world fell in love with Michael Jackson in the 1960s. If you want a risky or complicated portrait of a complicated man, this is not your movie. If you want to watch a movie about how Michael Jackson is as beautiful and incredible as the music he made, then I highly recommend seeing Michael. And see it this opening weekend, because like any concert or dance party, it's best played loud with an enthusiastic crowd.
It's the Gimme Three podcast, everybody, and we are talking Michael Jackson short films, specifically from the 80s, some of his most iconic pieces of work in this art form that he helped define. Thriller, we talked about before the break, directed by John Landis. Bad, we talked about before the break, directed by Martin Scorsese. And as we were talking about with Bad, he made a lot of music videos for this album, and a lot of them were of the larger scale, more short film type approach, like he did with Thriller and like he did with Bad. Of course, he had Bad. He had The Way You Make Me Feel, a wonderful music video, which was also shot in Skid Row.
Wow.
Dirty Diana, the one we're about to talk about, which I'm sure you guys can probably guess. But after a while, I believe the last video, Leave Me Alone, which I mentioned in the intro, a really incredible state-of-the-art music video that I think still holds up and looks kind of crazy. So check that one out. But I think he was kind of done with videos for a while, and you could tell, like, there's one of my favorite songs on the album is Liberian Girl. And they came out with a music video for it, and Michael's like, I don't want to do another video, you know? So the video is just a whole bunch of celebrities singing Liberian Girl, and it's really bad. And then the studio was like, we got to get Michael in there, even if it was for one shot or something. So the compromise was that he showed up literally for 15 minutes and did one final shot, which is just him sitting in like the director's pedestal of a crane and looking through the viewfinder. And at the end of the video, he just says, okay, that's a wrap, everybody. So that video, not great, but the rest of them on this album are tremendous, including the one that we are about to take it on home with.
Oh yeah, we're closing out the show with Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal from 1988. Directed by Colin Chilvers, who was a special effects magician known for making Christopher Reeve's Fly in Superman, and of course, the iconic illusion of the Michael Jackson lean, which we see for the first time, I believe, in this video.
Yep.
MJ and a group of dancers seemingly defy gravity by leaning forward, straight backs, flat feet, 45 degrees without so much as a wobble, which was achieved through cables and harnesses on set. And then for Michael Jackson's live performances going forward, his team actually patented specially designed shoes that hook into pegs that like rise up onto the stage and hook in. Pretty incredible stuff right there.
They used those pegs for the video also. I think the cables were just like an extra safety precautionary.
Probably safety, right? Yeah.
But the pegs were used for the video as well.
It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. Yeah, it looks insane to this day. Still just such a jaw-dropping illusion. Anyways, the film has a somewhat fantastical beginning to match the sort of cinematic score that opens the song. Michael Jackson, donned in an all-white suit, the all-white suit and shoes with a fedora to match, walks down a shadowy alley drenched in neon blue light. A group of little kids spy from behind a fence as he throws open a door that unleashes a blinding light and wind and disappears through it. Inside, we discover a smoky 1930s club filled with femme fatales and gangsters. The whole room stops to look at who dares to enter this establishment with such intensity. Everything slows down, and the crowd watches as Michael slowly flings a coin across the room, right into the jukebox, kicking off the song. The entire room breaks out into a meticulously choreographed performance. It's literally like something off of Broadway. Like if Michael Jackson wasn't so damn captivating, you might not know where to look because there's just so much going on in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Through dance, we see Michael move through the crowd, performing on the stage, making bets, seducing women, and starting fights over the pool table. Suddenly, the song stops. A window shatters, glass falls all around, and the room is enveloped in a smoky, cool blue. Everything slows down once again, and the room is hypnotized by Michael Jackson and his music. It's a slow, sensual, hypnotic moment, and the room starts to shout, "Annie, are you okay?" It builds and builds as they huddle around Michael Jackson in the center of the room, and he brings us right back into the song with some even more fantastic dancing. The kids continue to watch the performance from outside and even have their own little dance break, which is the most adorable thing ever. But everything comes to an abrupt halt when men with machine guns surround the building. Michael Jackson has his own kind of Scarface moment, unleashing a rain of bullets on them. He tries to fight, but the crowd ushers him out to help him escape before the whole club is busted. And the end. The incredible choreography was a collaboration among Vincent Patterson, Michael Jackson, and Jeffrey Daniel, who have choreographed and danced themselves in some of Michael Jackson's other videos like Thriller and also Beat It. The video went on to win the top awards for Best Music Video at the Brit Awards, Critics' Choice, and People's Choice Awards that year as well. It really is a theatrical masterpiece. This is like my second favorite out of the three we're talking about today. I just love that the whole thing is dance. It's theater, really. It's storytelling through movement and incredible movement. Like, this is some of the best choreography I think I've ever seen. And I love the way that they utilize the space and the set.
Yeah.
It's genuinely masterful.
It's really creative.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. Creative.
Yeah, this piece was the centerpiece of the feature film that Mike made, Moonwalker, which is a movie. Went straight to a video movie. It's got Joe Pesci in it. It's probably been 25 years since I've seen Moonwalker, but I remember even as a kid who like worshipped MJ, I was like, this is not great. But this part of the film is great, which, this lands in the middle. The smooth criminal sequence is, it's just epic. It's what most people remember about the film. And it's just very stylish, and it takes a lot of inspiration from dance of all eras. The director of the video, Colin Chilvers, knew what Michael wanted to do. He knew some of the references for the dancing that he liked. Fred Astaire, Bob Fosse, films like Bandwagon and Girl Hunt. And so it was like these old kind of bright Technicolor 1950s style dance movies. And Colin told Michael, is like, hey, I think we take that flashy style of dance and that inspiration, that 50s Technicolor gangster approach to the character design and the style that they're going to be moving, but combine that with a more film noir, dark shadow look. And he showed him The Third Man as a visual example, and Michael just fell in love with it. So you have these kind of like, why it looks so cool and so unique is this blend of vibrant Technicolor 50s style dance movie, but with a film noir cinematography approach. And it is special to look at. You just like look at it, you're just like, God damn, it looks cool. It looks sexy, like it's just badass.
Absolutely. And everything comes through in the movement. Like, even though they're dancing everything, it feels, you're like, oh, that's that scene that I've seen play out in every film noir.
Yeah.
But they're dancing it. I don't even know how to explain it. It's so impressive. And
they're telling the story through movement.
And I absolutely love I don't even know what to call it, but like hypnotizing scene, I guess, where it's the pause that I mentioned, where the whole room is kind of just like moaning and moving and like feeling just the energy. There is like, it's not completely silent, but there is just like, it's the sound of this energy that
it's a breakdown moment, and basically the dancers are just, he told the dancers and he told the filmmakers like, hey, I want a moment where we just like stop the music, we stop the dancing, and we just let the dancers feel it. They just do what they do. And they rehearsed it obviously, but this was what they got, and it really is creative shift in it. Like without them saying any dialogue or anything, it adds this weight to the piece that I think was like desperately needed.
Yeah, it's super impactful. Like I even found myself wanting, like, almost tearing up a little bit because it just kind of transports you into just the passion, like the whole it gives you that feeling that this is such a passion project.
Right.
And you really feel that in that moment. It's something really special. It honestly kind of made me think about the Sinners moment in Sinner, like the when everything slows down in the juke. There's a passage of time. Like it kind of made me think of that scene a little bit, of taking you out of like the action and what's happening and just like letting you hang there in the air with the emotion and the energy.
Right.
And then the way that he like snaps you back into it with both the song and the movement. I was like ready. I was like, let's go. Like I'm ready to join you guys.
Yeah, it's really impressive. And like you said, yeah, the dancing is just so integral and impressive in this one. Like, and you've got two very different choreographers, like as you mentioned, Vincent Patterson and Jeffrey Daniel, two people he had worked with before. Jeffrey Daniel he'd worked with, like he was a co-choreographer on Bad and stuff. You know, Vincent Patterson kind of like injected some of that old world style of dance, like some of the more Fred Astaire moves, some of the old school moves. Jeffrey was Michael's eyes, ears, and feet and hips to the streets, because Michael could not go out. Like Michael could not go to the clubs. So Jeffrey would be out going to the clubs, seeing what the kids were doing on the streets, and bringing it back to Michael and be like, yo, there's this is coming out. Breaking's coming out. This is coming out. That. And they would just kind of like inject that with like the classical style, which we see in Bad and we see here in Smooth Criminal. It's just like a little bit of, much like Sinners, like you said, it's kind of bringing in all influence from the past and present and future and injecting it all into one choreography.
Yeah, I felt that. It's really amazing.
My favorite part is when he's like,
he's
by the pool table and he does some spin and he grabs the billiard ball and he just like, when he does is like pop and he sticks his arm out, but he's got the billiard ball in his hand and he pops and he sticks his arm out and he smashes the billiard ball in his hand. It's like, fucking shit. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's so cool.
It is.
And then he swings around the table and he blows it into the other guy's face.
Yeah. It's like the cool kind of, it's just so smart because it's the cool kind of stuff that you would see characters do in noir films. Like, remember when we were talking about Double Indemnity and the way Fred McMurray would just like snap his fingers on that match and you're just like, my God, I like that guy. I don't even know who he is. He could be a gigantic piece of shit, but he just did that. I like him. That's what that moment is in this video. It's like, he just did that. All right, that's my guy right there.
So true. Perfectly said. I learned the choreography for the main dance sequence in Thriller, and now I have to do it somehow for that final like dance sequence they do in Smooth Criminal, because it's just amazing. If I can do that, I feel like I could do anything in the world.
The chorus for this, Annie, are you okay? You know where that comes from, Bella?
No, I was wondering.
Everybody's like, who is this Annie? And is she okay? Because the song's really about like finding this body after a smooth criminal has, done something to it, hurt it. During the making of Bad, Mike was taking CPR lessons. And all CPR dummies are named Annie. And
oh my God.
The thing that you're supposed to do that they train you on when you find somebody who may need CPR, the first thing you ask them is, are you okay?
Wow.
So he had, when he was practicing doing the, what do you call, chest compressions, you'd go, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? And he used that for the song.
Wow. That's fascinating.
CPR. Don't poo-poo it. Don't knock it till you tried it. Maybe you're going to come up with something wonderful thing.
CPR?
Yeah, don't knock it till you try it, you know?
Yeah.
I know
yeah,
CPR gets a lot of hate, you know?
No one likes to use it these days. Oh, man. Any final thoughts on Smooth Criminal?
I do got to rewatch Moonwalker just because I'm like on this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on this train, you know, I'm on this binge of Mike right now leading up to the film. So I will revisit Moonwalker, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is a cinematic masterpiece. And
Hey, you never know.
you never know. But
You'll have to report back.
I will. I'll let you know. I'll let the audience know.
It's like anthology, right? Or something.
No,
like
I think
that?
it's a movie.
Or it's a full-on movie.
It's a full-on movie.
Or narrative movie, I guess I should say. Wow. Okay. Maybe I'll check that out.
But yeah, besides that, I mean, again, we'll put this in the episode description as well, so our audience can just check them on out. And I mean, if our audience has any questions about other music videos, suggestions of Mike, just hit me up, because I got them.
I love it.
All right, my friends. That's a wrap. That is a wrap on the Gimme Three podcast. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking this journey with us on these incredible short films, these game-changing short films by Michael Jackson. Let us know what you think of them. Let us know what you think of Smooth Criminal, of Bad, and of Thriller. You can do that a couple different ways. You can slide into our DMs on Instagram at Gimme Three Podcast. That's GIMME, spell out 3 podcast. You can message us there. We have polls from time to time, having our audience select the films that we're going to be talking about. And we've got a whole bunch of like fun content that's posted on there as well all the time as well. So check out Gimme Three Podcast on Instagram. You can scroll down to our episode description and click the link that says send us a text message. Click that link. Drop us a line. It's going to go directly into our inbox. If you dig the show, if you dig the Gimme Three podcast, there's a few ways to support it. 3 ways, in fact. You can download our episodes. If you download our episodes, set our podcast to automatically download. It really helps us out, helps the algorithm. We have a Patreon also for $5 a month, which is cheaper than anything these days. Certainly cheaper than a gallon of gas if you live in California. So for a mere $5 a month, you can support the show. There's bonus content on there, and it really just helps us keep the mics on. And of course, the third and final way is to just share the podcast with friends. If you've got friends or family who are into movies, who are into cinema, who are into Michael Jackson, share this episode, share our podcast with them. Bella, do you want to let the lovely folks know where they can find you on the social media?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at Portrait of a Cinephile or on Letterboxd at BFstratus.
And you can find me on Letterboxd, on Instagram, or on Blue Sky at Nicholas Ibarra. Ibarra is spelled with a Y. We want to thank you all for listening to the Gimme Three podcast, and we will see you at the movies. Shimon!